Welcome back to my channel. We're gonna go over the latest episode of Divorce Sistas. Now, there weren't a whole lot of scenes going on in this one, but there was just enough punch packed in. So I'm not gonna go in any certain order. But we did leave off with Vaughn killing himself, supposedly. I just knew he was full of it. I could tell the way he was acting in the car, because I was like, I don't know if the acting is bad. And when I say acting, I meant like his professional acting, or if he was putting on a front, which we found out he was, for Bridget to get her sympathy. Because this episode opens up with, they're like, well, after they, she's crying and stuff, and they're trying to get her relaxed and calm. And I think Rashida was the one that was like, because Jeff went off and asked about his whereabouts. Come to find out, he's at his cousin's or brother's. But he was the one that hung up the phone. So obviously, if you shoot yourself in the head or put a gun to your chin and blow, pull the trigger, you're not going to hang up the phone. So he just shot out his car, possibly having someone get hurt by a stray bullet, all because he's trying to gain sympathy from her, and have her feel sorry for him. And he's not trying to get charges pressed on him for beating the crap out of Calvin. And so the topic of dating younger men comes up, and they're like, well, he is young and too young and all this. And first of all, it's not even just the fact that he's younger, it's how he acts and how she treats him. She treats him like a son. That cannot be attractive for you to treat. When they were at the banquet, she was like, come on, boy, get on up, boy. That's how you talk to your son, not your man. So in her case, I don't know what her deal is, because they say she's in the habit of dating younger men. So I don't know if it's a control thing. Maybe she likes to feel like she's in control, and the only way she can do that is with a man way younger than her. I don't know. Maybe we will learn some more about Bridget, because as of now, Bridget doesn't have too much going on outside of working in the church and being with Vaughn. We don't know too much more about her, right? So there's a scene that had me really upset for a second, because I was like, Jeff is just so weak acting. When he went to the hospital and his wife, she still got her back out with the burn. Somebody on Twitter was like, man, Tyler still got this lady laid out with the burn. But what I've noticed with his episodes is it could be 2 or 3 episodes, but they still might take place in like 1 day or 2 days. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it seems like she's been in there so long when it's really only been like a day. So anyway, Franklin, the guy that I just wish something awful will happen to on this show, is talking to Jeff, and in a nutshell, he's basically threatening Rashida, because she's friends with Naomi. And to me, I felt like it took Jeff a moment too long. Like, he should have immediately jumped up and been in his face like, first of all, who are you threatening? But he takes his role as pastor very seriously, in the sense where he really, really, really has to be pushed to get. I didn't know the man was going to start cursing. Because, Devon Franklin, he's like, religious figure in real life. Honey, he said, and I quote, you think just because I'm a man of God that I can be a mother too? And he was serious about that. Now, my anger with him not standing up for his wife subsided a little bit. But I still feel like as soon as that man opened up his mouth, first of all, when he sat there and called Rashida out of her name, which again, I didn't hear on that episode. When he called Rashida out of her name, he should have been up in his face then. But then I'm remembering he has this money that he was supposedly going to give the church during that auction, which I don't feel like he was going to do that anyway. I think he came to that auction just to to hurt Naomi because he's obviously still not over her. If you are remarried, you're with someone else, you have your wife, your new wife here, why do you make it a point to try to upset her if unless you don't have any um if you claim to not if you claim to hate her so much, not have feel like y'all are um having way too much energy between each other to hate each other so much. I don't know. But I can't stand Franklin. And you got some nerve threatening somebody's wife because she's friends with a woman that hurt your wife. But had you not cheated in the first place, none of this would ever happen. So that's on you, brother. But so Franklin is taking these threats, not Franklin, Jeff is taking these threats seriously. He calls Rashida. He's like, look, she's like, well, we're heading over to Naomi. She's like, no, just have her come to our house. And he was like, no, never mind. Look, I'm going to meet you there, me and Myron. Myron is an attractive man. He definitely is. But I don't know what his audition was, but he just cannot act to me. And it's real cringy, like. And he's always apologizing. I'm sorry. You okay, Jeff? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, that's his whole script. Maybe we're going to get some more Myron. Myron, I need you to talk more or do something more. But he does. Coming to that in a minute. So, of course, Naomi gets in there. I mean, not gets in there, but she's there after her escort man leaves and tells, basically she read them their rights. And she was like, Rashida, well, what about you? What about Myron? Blah, blah, blah. So she shows on her ring cam Myron on the phone talking about, I know he loves me and he holds her hand in front of me to make me jealous and such. And that's how the episode ends. I didn't take that, though, that I didn't take that they were having an affair. I just took it that Myron is in love with him. I feel like Myron called him babe on purpose on the phone, and was going to say, oops, my bad, I didn't mean to call you babe. But I don't feel like that scene means, oh, they are messing around. I just feel like Myron is the one that's all in love with him. Because on one of the previous episodes, they said Myron was married, but I don't even know what his wife looks like. Somebody tell me, what episode was that again? Because someone mentioned, I think Rashida was the one that mentioned, well, Myron, he didn't even pay his wife any attention. I'm like, what wife? I thought he was solo dolo. Because every time we see him, he's with Jeff and in the church, and I didn't see any woman. She must have not had no lines because I didn't hear her nothing. Now, Tiffany, I'm starting not to care for Tiffany because it's like, do you have low self-esteem or something? First, you meet Javon. You're all into him so quickly. Now with Geneva acting funny because, you messing with her former side boo. It's like she's begging for Geneva. Well, what's going on? Well, I just don't understand. And blah, blah, blah. Then they're in a car and she's like, she's something's going on. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I understand that's your friend, but I just wouldn't be, if I ask you what's going on and you are giving me excuses, and I just wouldn't worry about it. And of course, Geneva didn't bring it up, but Tiffany was like, is all this because of the pretty lady? Like, why would she be treating you weirdly because she's thinking William is cheating on her with this lady at the school? That doesn't even make sense. And so, of course, Geneva takes that and runs with it. Yeah, I just, blah, 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 talking about the pretty lady. Girl, Tiffany, I don't know if you have a life outside of this friend group in your job, but you need to get some hobbies because it's giving very desperate. You're desperate for Javon. You're desperate for Geneva's friendship. And why are you acting like it's giving really, really, really desperate. Like she's just a desperate person. Like that's just her personality. I think I pretty much covered everything, but this one scene, it's like So, I guess Naomi is into like S&M, BDSM. I'm not familiar with the terms, so correct me if I'm wrong on those. But we just cut to a scene with her choking the hell out of her little escort man, the one she's trying to get to kill her ex-husband. And it's like, girl, one thing about Tyler Perry, he's gonna make his characters drastic as hell, like dramatic as hell, because you damn near about to catch a murder charge by almost strangling this man to death because you into some kinky stuff or whatever. He's jumping up, man. I guess she ignored the safe word. He jumping up. I'm not your ex-husband. Don't be doing me like him. You trying to kill me and all this stuff. And then he walk around the house bucket naked. When Geneva and them come over, I am so glad. What if Jeff and Myron had walked in there and that man was in there butt naked eating a sandwich? Girl. And Geneva acting like it's her house. You get out, blah, blah. Then she going to tell Naomi, you need to get dressed and get your clothes. Girl, this is not your house. I understand this is your friend and you care about her. Y'all came to see about her. This is not your house to be telling people to take showers and leave. I understand coming in seeing a butt naked man, but you can't tell him to leave. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Naomi feels some kind of way because Rashida went to the hospital to see, her and Jeff went to see about Franklin's wife versus going to the jail to see about her. And it's like, she's a pastor's wife. She pretty much kind of has to tag along with him. It's an optics thing. And then, of course, this man got the money. And that's what Franklin was talking about. He was like, yeah, I feel like you're just here for the money, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like I feel like a part of him is, but I really do feel like Pastor Jeff loves Rashida. He just, some people just don't have their priorities right. And that's what he needs to do. I think she's not the priority that she needs to be. I think it's starting to get that way, especially with her damn life being threatened. But I want to see some more of this Pastor Jeff going off. I think we're going to start seeing some backstory. Like, I'm thinking Pastor Jeff was probably like a gangster back in the day, and that he's going to bring that back out. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll see next week. Episode 8. I don't know how many episodes we're going to get per this season, but I'm ready. And I don't know about y'all, but I like this old school drop one episode a week, like they used to do back in the day. Only this is even better because, yeah, they drop a new episode every week, but at least you still get to watch it whenever you want to. It's not like back in the day where you had to literally be at your TV at 8 o'clock on Wednesday nights because that's when a new episode of Martin was coming on. And you wasn't going to see the episode again until it was a rerun, a few months from now. So I'm digging it. Shout out to my 152 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well who are not subscribed. But you can by hitting that button for me. Trying to get to 1,000. Let's see what we can do by the end of this year. And even if I don't get to 1,000 in this year, of course, I'm going to still keep trying. Nothing's going to happen. But that's my goal. 1,000 by the end of this year. Peace and blessings to every one of you watching. Until next time.